defining different kinds of myth. At one point, Slotkin quotes the great master and observer of myth, D.H. Lawrence, "A stranger in a strange land." But you have there the myth of the essential white American. All the other stuff, the love, the democracy, the floundering into lust, are a sort of byplay. The essential American soul is hard, isolate, stoic, and a killer. It has never yet melted. Slotkin uses this citation to distinguish between the kinds of created mythologies America characteristically requires to do what it has to do. The good sheriff, a strong, peaceful man. This is pop myth. The killer stoic, who lurks just below the surface of an essential collective consciousness, is the real thing. No one realizes this better than Oakley Hall. Warlock recounts a series of violent events in and around a town of the same name, set in a southwestern territory during the 1880s. The account, placed partly in a fictional character's journal, is an examination of the deeper portending of these events. Goodpasture, the diarist, reflects on the balance of justice in the light of which the first series of killings might be viewed. A deputy has buffaloed a local cowboy on a drunken spree, beaten him, and inadvertently caused his death. Eventually, avengers come and succeed in settling the score. Things like this happen, Goodpasture writes, in this rough-and-tumble corner of creation, happen and are usually considered no more than too bad. The rough-and-tumble corner of creation referred to is the American frontier in the last decade of its formal delineation, for the frontier will be officially terminated by the Department of the Interior in 1890. In fact, as the diarist knows but denies, nothing in this last resort of misfits, opportunists, professional killers, and impossibly long-odds gamblers is ever accepted in fact as no more than too bad. An overriding and thoroughly hopeless necessity to come out ahead of the next strong man, or of precarious things themselves, drives everyone as they put one more day of frontier existence on top of the last. The stories of the Old West that Americans have grown up on render aspects of the frontier experience mythical, while reflecting the Central American myth that Slotkin calls regeneration through violence. These stories are not myths themselves, though. They are the substance of America's mythopoesis. For Warlock, Oakley Hall uses bits of the gunfight at the OK Corral, the Lincoln County War, the Johnson, Wyoming, cattle fight, and a few others. As Slotkin writes, and Oakley Hall subtly demonstrates, in American mythogenesis, the founding fathers were not those 18th century gentlemen who composed a nation at Philadelphia. Rather, they were those who, to paraphrase Faulkner's Absalom, Absalom, tore violently a nation from implacable and opulent wilderness, the rogues, adventurers, and land boomers, the Indian fighters, traders, missionaries, explorers, and hunters who killed and were killed until they had mastered the wilderness. In the evocatively named town of Warlock, shades of young Goodman Brown, the Apaches kill and die, and are followed by the Mexicans, who slaughter the gringo cowboys and are killed by them. The U.S. cavalry, having helped decimate the Indians and Mexicans, are now used against white labor by mine owners. The murderous cattle barons, who made their own law in the Rattlesnake Valley, are driven down and out. America, aspiring toward her self-generated pseudo-myths, remains a prisoner of her deepest true ones. Robert Stone. Prefatory Note. This book is a novel. The town of Warlock and the territory in which it is located are fabrications. But any relations of the characters to real persons living or dead is not always coincidental. For many are composites of figures who live still